Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Before we begin, I would like to give a quick shout out to Italia I Perspective. Hey girl, you were the first to comment on my last video, and I just want to say thank you so much for all of your support. So today I'm going to be doing another story time, and this is a story time that was sent in by one of my besties. Like I said, I don't like calling you guys my subscribers, but just a quick refresher, if you guys have any stories that you would like me to tell, take a look in my description box down below, and I have my email address and Instagram, and you can send me your stories on Instagram DM or you can email me and I'll gladly tell your stories. So today is a wild one. Like I said, I like doing the first impressions type of thing, so let's get right into it. I was 19 years old when I fell in love with a man who was married. At the time, I had been working for a company that was paying me good money, and all I had to do was basically sit around and be cute. So I met a guy who was the CFO of the company, and we instantly hit it off. I had no clue about his status. I honestly just thought he was somebody else that was working there. So we fell in love. We went out on a date. I knew he was older, and I was fine with him being older, but I didn't know about his marital status. At this point, we had been out on 2 dates. Our first date was just magical. He gave me butterflies. I couldn't wait to wake up the next morning to talk to him. We talked all day, every single day. He was like my best friend and my lover in one. Second time we hung out, he took me back to his office, the headquarters. At the headquarters, we had a couple drinks, and one thing led to another. And suddenly, we were in his office, on his desk, getting crunk. So, like I said, we had been drinking the whole night. At this point, it was probably 3 o'clock in the morning. And he slipped up and said, something, my wife. At this point, I am tipsy, I'm drunk, but I wasn't that drunk. I said, huh? Your wife? You're married? I had already did the nasty with him, and I already fell in love with his personality. And of course, the sex had to be phenomenal. So at this point, I was already in lust and fell for him. I was sad when he told me that, but I wasn't in the right mind, so I didn't think too much of it. The next day when I woke up, I thought about everything he had told me, and I knew it was wrong, but I did continue to see him. This is honestly probably one of the biggest regrets of my life. So I continued to see him, and it would be messy. Sometimes his wife would call and I would be in the car with him, or he had kids as well, and it just felt all the way around wrong later, but at the time, I thought nothing of it. I was in love with a man who could never be mine. So the next summer, I was in college at the time, and I met this new girl. Me and this girl hit it off instantly, and we were the greatest of friends. We went off to a party one day, and on the way to the party, I drove past this house, and she told me to stop. When I stopped at the house, she got out, and she spit on the lawn and just started screaming and got back in the car. I was like, girl, what was that? Are you okay? She told me that her father had cheated on her wife, and that was the mistress' house where they both stayed at. I never told her anything about what I had been doing, never said a word about it, so I figured that this was God's sign of telling me that I was dead wrong. The hurt in her eyes, she started crying. She was just simply disgusted, and she told me how this man ruined her life. He ruined her mother. He ruined the image of men and what a healthy relationship looks like because of his cheating. And when she told me this, I immediately thought, wow, that's me. This man had broke apart their family, and that's the track that I was heading on. So the next day, I woke up and I cut it off with him. I told him what I had saw and what had happened, and he even wanted to get a divorce with his wife and all. But I told him that that wasn't right, and that I could no longer live with myself. I couldn't even look myself in the mirror because I was just so disgusted. I'm a Christian woman, and I still, to this day, feel horrible about everything that had happened. So, down the line, probably about a week after, I got a diagnosis, and I was diagnosed with herpes. Wow. I believe that was my karma for doing what I did, because even though I didn't know until it was too late, I still should have and could have cut it off immediately as soon as he told me that. I should have walked out then and there, but I was just so in awe and so in lust because, like I said, he was my best friend and my lover all in one, and I had never felt this way about anyone before. So now I am living with this disease, and it is a constant reminder of the bad choice that I made. I know this is my karma, and I know I deserve this in every way. And if there was a way that I could apologize to the wife and the kids, I would. Because I regret ever touching this man. I regret not leaving the day he told me he was a married man. I definitely learned my lesson, and to this day, I still pray that God forgives me for my sins. So that's the story about the worst decision that I've ever made. I don't expect sympathy because I know what I did was wrong, and I do truly regret it every single day. I've never told anyone this story before because I'm frightened and I'm embarrassed, and I feel extremely low for doing what I did. Please, no harsh judgment. I was only 19 years old at the time and made a stupid decision that left me with permanent damage. But I learned my lesson, and every day I try to move forward. This is my story. Girl, that story is so touching. Honestly, if I could say anything to you, it would be that herpes, both types, are just so common. You know, they're so common that it's such a huge stigma on it. Like, literally, I think 1 in 3 Americans have cold sores, because if you don't know, cold sores is herpes. In general, I feel like it's like the same thing. People have it and they don't even know they have it. So I know it sucks, and I know it probably feels like your karma, but don't beat yourself up about it. You made a mistake, and you know you made a mistake, and you know you'll never do something like that again. God is a forgiver, and he will never give up on you. I know it feels like a harsh punishment, but it's so common, and I hope that gives you some comfort. Thank you so much for sharing your story. If you guys have any positive feedback, positivity only, please definitely leave that down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Today is Thursday, so that means that I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.